A lot of countries have been talked about as perfect retirement destinations for retirees. But in 2026, some of these countries are no longer safe for retirement because crime is on the rise. In this video, we'll talk about 5 countries that are commonly recommended as retirement destinations but are no longer safe due to increasing crime. Without further delay, let's get started. 1. Costa Rica. For years, Costa Rica has been one of the most talked about retirement destinations in the world. And it's easy to see why. The country's Pura Vida lifestyle draws people in, with its laid-back pace of life, stunning rainforests, and beaches on 2 coastlines. The Nicoya Peninsula is even recognized as one of the world's 5 blue zones, where people statistically live longer, healthier lives. Add to that a well-regarded public healthcare system through the CAJA, a dedicated pension-ado residency visa for retirees, and a mild, no-extreme seasons climate. And it's no surprise so many people have dreamed of spending their golden years here. But here's the problem. Costa Rica's postcard-perfect image is being seriously tested in 2026. Just a few years ago, in 2023, Costa Rica recorded its highest homicide rate in history at 17.2 per 100,000 people. Nearly 907 homicides in a single year. That made it, for the first time ever, one of the more dangerous countries in the region. The rate has stayed stubbornly high since then, 16.6 per 100,000 in 2024, and 16.8 per 100,000 by the end of 2025. Even with a slight easing to 13.9 per 100,000 through the middle of 2026, that still works out to nearly 2 violent incidents recorded every single day across the country. What's driving this surge? A decade ago, authorities identified around 35 criminal factions operating in Costa Rica. Today, that number has exploded past 340. The country has shifted from being a simple pass-through point for narcotics trafficking to becoming an active operational hub, and competing factions are fighting for control right on Costa Rican soil. Over half of all homicides in the country are now tied directly to this trafficking activity. It's not just violent crime either. Incarceration rates have climbed from 282 to 359 per 100,000 people in just a few years. Extortion cases are rising, and cybercrime targeting foreigners is becoming a growing concern. The U.S. State Department currently keeps Costa Rica at a Level 2 travel advisory, urging visitors to exercise increased caution. Yes, the trouble is concentrated in specific urban districts, and the everyday retiree sipping coffee in a Tina's or Tamarindo isn't likely to stumble into gang conflict. Property-related offenses like theft and armed robbery still make up the bulk of reported incidents nationwide, far outweighing violent crime in the day-to-day statistics. But the trend line matters. A country that once branded itself the safest refuge in the region is now grappling with a security crisis serious enough to shape its 2026 election. For anyone considering retiring abroad, that shift from paradise to caution zone is exactly the kind of red flag worth taking seriously before packing your bags. 2. Philippines. For years, the Philippines has ranked among the most talked about retirement destinations for people looking to stretch their savings. The Special Resident Retirees Visa, run by the Philippine Retirement Authority, offers a straightforward path to long-term residency for a relatively low deposit. Add in a famously low cost of living, widely spoken English, friendly locals, and postcard islands like Palawan and Siargao, and it's easy to understand the appeal. But before booking a one-way ticket in 2026, retirees need the full picture, because the risks specific to foreigners in the Philippines are genuinely escalating, even as the country's broader crime statistics tell a more complicated story. Yes, official police data shows overall reported crime trending downward, with the Philippine National Police citing double-digit percentage drops in major offense categories through 2025 and early 2026. That's the honest baseline. What's rising instead is a narrower, more targeted threat, one aimed specifically at outsiders. Kidnapping cases involving foreign nationals have surged. In 2024, police recorded 32 cases. By 2025, every single kidnapping case reported, all 8 of them involved a foreigner as the victim. And in just the first half of 2026, at least 7 more cases involving Chinese nationals alone were confirmed by diplomatic officials. Several resolved only after ransom payments were made. Authorities have directly linked this spike to the fallout from banned offshore gaming operations, which left behind networks of foreign criminal groups now preying on other foreigners. Online scam operations have exploded too. Immigration raids have uncovered scam centers staffed by hundreds of foreign nationals running fraud schemes targeting victims both locally and abroad, with authorities arresting over 400 people in a single Manila raid alone. Cybercrime broadly has climbed by triple-digit percentages in recent years, and financial scams targeting retirees and expats specifically, from fake investment schemes to romance fraud, remain a persistent and growing concern. Then there's the regional risk. Central and Western Mindanao, along with the Sulu Archipelago, continue to carry extremist-linked kidnapping threats serious enough that multiple governments advise against travel there entirely, and maritime piracy remains a documented concern in surrounding waters. Even Numbio's crowdsourced safety index, which reflects how residents actually feel day-to-day, has climbed for 5 consecutive years running. So while the Philippines isn't spiraling into chaos, the honest 2026 picture for retirees is this. The everyday street crime numbers may be improving, but the specific dangers facing foreigners, kidnapping, scam networks, and financial fraud are climbing fast enough that anyone planning to retire there needs to go in with eyes wide open, not just a postcard in hand. Before we move on to the next country, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so this video will be able to reach more people and we will be more encouraged to make more videos like this for you. Thank you so much for staying till this time. Now let's continue. 3. Belize. For years, Belize has been a favorite on retirement lists. Its Qualified Retired Persons Program offers meaningful tax incentives on foreign income. The US dollar is pegged directly to the Belize dollar, and the country is only a short flight from major US cities. Add in the laid-back island life of Ambergris Caye and Plasencia, the affordable expat pockets of Corozal, and the inland charm of the Cayo district, and it's easy to see why so many people pictured Belize as their retirement home. But 2026 has exposed a much harder reality. In May 2026, the Governor General declared a formal state of public emergency covering large sections of Belize City, both South Side and North Side, along with surrounding Belize district communities including Ladyville, Burrell Boom, and Bermudian Landing. The declaration came after a rapid chain of violent incidents, a targeted retaliatory hit that took the life of a 29-year-old man, and a shocking incident where a teenager opened fire inside a bar, taking the life of a mother of 3. Authorities pointed to an escalating conflict between rival factions as the driving force. What makes this especially relevant for retirees is where the emergency spreads next. Within days, a second emergency order extended into the Cayo district, covering Roaring Creek and Camelot, near Belmopan, an area many expats consider a quieter, safer alternative to Belize City. The unrest reached there too, after a police officer was shot in what investigators believe was a case of mistaken identity tied to the same gang conflict. The numbers back up the alarm. Belize recorded 91 homicides in 2025, a rate of 21.8 per 100,000 residents, one of the highest homicide rates anywhere in the Western Hemisphere. Freedom House's 2026 report specifically flags Belize's high rate of violent crime as an ongoing concern, alongside persistent gang activity linked to transnational trafficking networks moving through the country. Gang presence has now been documented in districts including Cayo, uncomfortably close to areas where American and Canadian retirees have settled. Much of this violence is targeted gang members involved in retaliatory conflicts rather than random attacks on bystanders or tourists. Popular retiree hubs like San Pedro and Plasencia remain physically distant from the affected zones. But when a government imposes curfews, checkpoints, and warrantless search powers across an ever-expanding map, the line between contained gang violence and a genuine national security concern starts to blur. For retirees weighing Belize in 2026, the honest picture is a country in the middle of an active security crisis, not the quiet Caribbean retreat the brochures still promise. For Mexico. For years, Mexico has been the single most popular country in the world for American retirees living abroad. The appeal is obvious. It's a short flight or even a drive from the US. The cost of living is a fraction of home, and established expat colonies like Lake Chapala, San Miguel de Allende, Merida, and Puerto Vallarta offer built-in community, walkable colonial architecture, and near-perfect climates. Lake Chapala alone has been called one of the best year-round climates on Earth. But look past the postcard towns, and 2026 tells a more complicated story. Nationally, the Sheinbaum government has reported real progress, with the daily homicide average dropping nearly 37% between late 2024 and the end of 2025. That's a genuine improvement worth acknowledging. But critics, including human rights researchers, caution that falling homicide counts have coincided with a rise in forced disappearances, meaning the true toll may not be improving as much as the headline numbers suggest. And the national trend hides what's happening in specific retiree hotspots. Take San Miguel de Allende, one of the most beloved expat towns in the country. It recorded 88 homicides between September 2024 and August 2025, enough to rank it among Mexico's 50 most violent municipalities. In August 2025, an armed attack at a religious event took the lives of 3 people. Reported robberies surged again in early 2026, and Numbio's tracking data shows perceived crime in San Miguel has been rated as increasing sharply over the past 3 years. The surrounding state of Guanajuato remains under a reconsider travel advisory from the U.S. State Department, and it recorded over 2,000 homicides through the first 9 months of 2025 alone, most tied to organized crime conflicts. The story repeats elsewhere. Quintana Roo, home to Playa del Carmen, Tulum, and Cancun, carries a standing Level 2 advisory, with officials openly acknowledging that rival criminal groups operate in the area, and that bystanders have occasionally been caught in the crossfire of confrontations meant for someone else. Baja California, home to popular retirement spots like Rosarito and Ensenada, remains one of the states with consistently elevated violence figures. None of this means every corner of Mexico is unsafe, and many retirees genuinely do live full, peaceful lives there, particularly in well-established, tourism-dependent pockets with heavy police presence. But the honest 2026 picture is one of contrast. National numbers improving on paper, while several of the country's most beloved retirement towns are quietly climbing the list of Mexico's most violent municipalities. For anyone weighing a move, that gap between the marketing and the ground reality deserves real attention before signing a lease. 5. Ecuador. For years, Ecuador has been a favorite on international retirement rankings, and Cuenca in particular has topped more than one best place to retire list. The appeal is easy to understand. The US dollar is the official currency, eliminating exchange rate worries entirely. Cuenca sits at over 8,000 feet in the southern highlands, offering a spring-like climate year-round, along with colonial architecture, walkable streets, and an established expat community estimated at 5,000 to 8,000 Americans and Canadians. Add a dedicated retiree visa and one of the lowest costs of living in South America, and the appeal writes itself. But 2026 is forcing a hard reconsideration. Nationally, Ecuador's homicide rate has climbed from around 7 per 100,000 people just a few years ago to roughly 45 to 50 per 100,000 in 2025, among the highest rates anywhere in the world and the country's worst on record. Even with the current government's crackdown producing some improvement in 2026, the Ministry of Interior's own figures show the country still averaging 23 violent fatalities per day through the first half of the year. Organized criminal factions have multiplied by more than 50% in just a couple of years, fighting for control of trafficking routes that now run straight through Ecuadorian ports. What makes this especially relevant for retirees is that even Cuenca, long considered the safe, insulated exception to Ecuador's national crisis, is no longer untouched. In March 2026, the city experienced what local reporting called unprecedented violence, with 3 lives lost across multiple attacks within a single 3-day span, including one incident where armed individuals entered a private funeral gathering. Authorities linked the surge to territorial disputes among lower-level trafficking operatives. The president has repeatedly declared states of emergency that brought curfews to Cuenca itself, something unthinkable for the city just a few years ago. Cuenca still ranks as the safest city in South America on Numbio's 2026 index, and the everyday reality for most expats remains petty theft, like phone snatching in crowded markets, rather than violent crime. Coastal cities like Guayaquil and Esmeraldas carry far heavier risk, with the US State Department directing citizens to avoid certain districts entirely. But the fact that Ecuador's long-standing safe haven for retirees experienced a headline-making violent incident this year shows how far the country's overall security situation has deteriorated. For anyone picturing a peaceful highland retirement, 2026 is a reminder that Ecuador's national crisis no longer stops neatly at Cuenca's city limits, and that yesterday's safety rankings may not hold up tomorrow. These are some of the most commonly recommended retirement destinations where crime is on the rise, making them no longer safe places to retire in 2026. Now that you know which countries are no longer safe for retirement, you're probably wondering which ones are safe. Don't worry, I won't leave you in the dark. Click the video appearing on your screen right now to discover the countries that are safe for retirement in 2026. Watch it and decide which destination is the best place to spend your golden years. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.